Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a uni Q&A. In my recent video I mentioned that I was going to do a YouTube uni series, so I thought I would kick it off by doing a Q&A, kind of cover what people want to know the most, and then I can speak about my own personal experiences. I apologise for any noise outside, it is so hot, I needed the windows open because I was going to die, so I'm sorry for that. I've got quite a few questions. I'm going to put them up on the screen as well. But I just thought this would be a really good way to kind of answer what people really want to know first before I kind of get into my own personal uni experiences and any kind of specifics that I want to talk about. So I thought this would be just a good way to kind of introduce the series, see what you guys want to know, and then I can kind of work from there. The first question is, what advice would you have for anyone struggling with their mental health whilst at uni, and did you find the services easy to access at uni or tough? When I started uni, my mental health wasn't that bad. I kind of struggled with panic attacks at school kind of every now and again, but it wasn't really like alarming, it was just kind of understandable panic attacks. By that I mean I was stressed, therefore I had a panic attack. So yeah, I wasn't really worried about going to uni and it affecting my mental health. However, after the first year of uni, I put so much pressure on myself and it kind of developed into me having anxiety and depression, specifically social anxiety. My degree is very kind of heavily group work based, so I kind of struggled to work in the groups and to kind of be confident enough to stand in front of 50 to 100 people presenting. That was a really big issue for me, and now I'm perfectly fine with it. I mean, not perfectly fine, obviously I still get nervous, but normal nerves I like to call them. When I kind of started uni, I wasn't worried about my mental health. I didn't really have any mental illness as such. However, if you are worrying about that, and if you do have a mental illness, whether that be bipolar, anxiety, depression, anything really, I can't really list them all. If you are worried about that, I would kind of just heavily consider your options, weigh out the pros and the cons, just kind of figure out whether you are mentally prepared or not, because uni is a massive thing. You have so much work to do. It's not easy, and yeah, it's not for the faint-hearted, and if you don't feel that you are mentally ready to take on the workload, I wouldn't recommend uni personally. Obviously you can't just take my word for it because I'm only one person. I don't have the opinions of everyone that's gone to uni, but personally I think if I was at the stage I was kind of in the summer last year where I was really kind of like mentally ill basically, if I was in that stage at the beginning of uni, I probably wouldn't be able to do uni. I wouldn't be able to cope with the workload, the stress, everything. It's tough, and you have a lot of sleepless nights, you have a lot of long days at uni. A lot of people kind of think students just sleep. In reality, they don't. Oh my god, literally my door is slamming because of the wind. Yeah, a lot of people think that students are really lazy, but majority of us do actually want to have a degree and an education and will not laze about. So you have to kind of be mentally ready for that, that's what I'm trying to get at. If you are struggling, seek help. I know that there's not a lot out there, but kind of seek help with just friends and family and anyone close to you at uni. Get help kind of where you can, and if you need professional help, obviously attempt to seek that. It does take a while though. Use online services, talk to people online. There's loads of online forums, there's tons of places you can kind of talk to people online, and you'll find out that a lot of other people kind of feel the same way as you, so you're not alone. And I remember feeling so miserable at uni. I hated uni, to be honest with you. For personal preference, I just didn't enjoy it, and I hated it at the start, but I stuck it out, and I'm proud of myself for finishing. I kind of expressed my emotions about uni in a video. I will link that below. It's not a very good video, it's like one of my first videos, so it's very blurry, very bad. But I expressed my concerns about uni and my experience, and one of my uni friends actually said, you know, I felt the same way, but we just never spoke about it because I never thought that other people felt the same way as me. So talking to people does make you realise that you're not alone, and you aren't alone in feeling the way you feel. Also, my services at uni weren't the best, to be honest. I don't know, I kind of blame myself for that because I didn't really seek them properly. There wasn't a lot of like services there for people struggling, and most of the services weren't on my campus. They were on the campus like half an hour away, not even half an hour, it's like 20 minutes away, but they weren't on my campus. so it wasn't really easy for me to access, and I live at home, so I couldn't kind of easily go backwards and forwards there. I think there's probably like counselling, but you have to do the normal kind of counselling assessment, then waiting list, and it could be up to, you know, a year, 7 months, 6 months, whatever. It's the same as what it would be on the NHS, so there's not a lot of services at my uni. I think they are kind of trying to bring more in, which is good, but I would recommend kind of talking to a tutor that you trust, talking to friends, family, anyone that you can talk to, just to kind of feel less alone. I think that's probably a big worry for a lot of people, just feeling alone at uni. And even though I lived at home, I still felt very lonely because it was harder for me to kind of get to know people because I wasn't around them 24/7. The next question is, what kind of self-care did you do at uni or wish you had done more? I wish I had noticed when I needed a break. When I started uni, I was non-stop. I literally did not give myself a break. In the first and second year especially, I just pushed myself beyond my limit. I made myself very, very ill, stressed, depressed, anxious, because I just didn't know when to stop. And it was great that I was hardworking and I did very well. I got really high grades, but it wasn't worth it because my mental health deteriorated because of it. However, going into my third year, I had CBT therapy midway through my third year, and my therapist said, you know, don't take on that much of a workload. Especially in group work, I kind of tried to take on as much as I could because I wanted everyone to do well and I kind of wanted to have a little bit more control over it. My therapist told me to, you know, give the work out and don't take on a massive workload that you can't handle because it's just not worth it, basically. So self-care, I would say, know when you need to stop. Especially kind of late at night if you've been working all day and you're just not getting anything done. Like for me, I would sit there for hours on end and probably write 2 sentences and it just wasn't happening, and that's when you need to just give yourself a break and just say, look, it's not happening, there's no point, and then you can come back to it the next day and you'll get loads done. So not feeling guilty for having a break is definitely important, and to just take it step by step, take it day by day, hour by hour. Give yourself a nice bubble bath at the end of the day, see some friends, take some time out, don't feel guilty for having a break. My next question is, what were you most excited about going to uni and what were you nervous about? To be honest, I wasn't that excited. I kind of just thought I'd go to uni to get a degree, see what the fuss is about. It's helped me get a job, so it's been worthwhile for me. I was looking forward to kind of doing something that I was really interested in, because at school it was obviously still very forced and you had to do X, Y, Z, whereas at uni it's obviously something you're interested in. That doesn't make it easier, but it's definitely more enjoyable. And the thing that I was most nervous about was just the big jump from school to uni. I wasn't ready. I thought I was ready, but as soon as I started uni I was like, oh my god. It literally felt like I was chucked in the deep end of the pool, and I'm not a great swimmer, so I really struggled with that. Yeah, that was probably what I was most nervous about, was just the jump from schoolwork to uni work and kind of meeting new people, making new friends. What was your happiest memory from uni? I think just spending time with my friends. It sounds so stupid, but like, where we all live at home, none of us live in halls. It was kind of like when we were at uni, we really enjoyed our time together, and even just having like breaks within the day with each other and just, I don't know, having a massive bitching session about people that we didn't like at uni was very fun. Most of it was just kind of moaning about uni work and uni people, and I just really enjoyed that. And I think they're going to be friends for life, so yeah, I've really enjoyed that. And what would you have done different? Again, just giving myself a break when I need it. I think that's probably the most important thing. Did your uni experience push you out of your comfort zone, and if so, in what ways? 100 and million 10% it did. My comfort zone is not surrounded by other people, being on my own, working individually and not having to socialise. I had to do presentations, I had to do group assignments, most of it was group work. It was probably, I'd say, 90% group work. I've lost count of the amount of presentations we've had to do. It was a lot, but it was realistic, so it definitely pushed me out of my comfort zone, and I've definitely grown in confidence and I've become very independent over the years. However, obviously I can still work in groups. It's helped me develop, and it's helped me understand my place within a group. I think that's really important to establish before you kind of go into the working world, because you need to know whether you're kind of a team leader or someone that kind of sits on the sidelines or kind of just works within everyone. And that's what's great about my degree especially, is that it was very realistic. It was advertising, marketing, communications, so It was very hands-on, it was very practical. We had to write loads of reports. There wasn't that many exams, there wasn't that many essays. It was mainly just business reports and group work, and that is what I will have to do when I start my job in a couple of weeks' time. So it's very realistic, and it gave me a lot of skills that I wouldn't have learned in the working world, or I would have learned it, but it would have taken me a little bit longer to get there. Was the support you received at uni, mental health-wise, better or worse than you expected? I've kind of already touched on this, but it was worse than I expected. Again, when I started uni, I didn't think I would need any help with my mental health. Yeah, it was worse than I expected. There isn't the services out there. I did mention this in my Sky News interview that I did a few weeks ago. There's just not the necessary tools out there for tutors and lecturers and teachers and anyone really. It's just not there, and they want to help but they physically can't, and they're not trained to be counsellors, so there's only so much they can do. And again, you have to think as well, like, lecturers aren't just teaching your course, they probably teach on multiple courses. They will teach thousands of students. They can't be counsellors for every single student as much as they would love to, and they want to help everyone. They just physically can't. It's so different to school, whereas school it's just, you know, they have one teacher for, you know, every 100 students or whatever. So yeah, it's not that great. So there's another question that says, are you currently in college, and if so, what college do you go to? Obviously I've finished uni now. I went to the University of Greenwich. It's only about 20 minutes down the road to my family home, so I've lived at home. I get my result this week, I think, so I'll find out if I need to retake anything. But yeah, I'm finished now and I start work in a couple of weeks, so very fast paced, very fast moving, but I'm very excited. So how old are you? I am 21 on Saturday. Do you wish you would have taken a gap year? No. That's one thing that I've said this year, is that I'm glad I haven't done, because I was thinking about doing a placement year. I would have never have done a gap year after school. I much prefer kind of going straight into it. I was considering doing a placement after my second year of uni and then going back and doing my third year come September this year. But I'm so glad I didn't do that now, because I've got to the point where I want to get out of education. I want to get out of the education system and go into the working world. And a lot of people have said to me, you know, make the most of uni, it's the best years of your life. But personally, they have not been the best years of my life. They've made me mentally ill and I don't want to relive them. And I'm not saying work is any easier, but for me personally, I just think I work better in the working world, where it's a bit more practical and I'm not kind of graded on everything I do. And yeah, I'm just so glad that I haven't taken that placement now, and I'm done basically, and I'm out into the working world, because I couldn't imagine having a year off and then having to go back into education. That would be the worst thing for me. What are your top tips for someone going into uni who's struggling with their mental health? I would say, again, weigh out the pros and the cons. It's like, just really think about whether you're ready to do it, because it is a massive jump, a massive workload, and it's not for the faint-hearted. You need to be in the right headspace to do it. So if you're not feeling, I mean, no one's gonna feel 100%, but if you're not feeling 90%, don't do it. I think if you are desperate to do it, then yes, do it. There's support out there for you. If you haven't got a great support network and you don't feel you can take on that pressure, don't force yourself to do it. Do it when you feel ready to do it. Do it when you feel well enough to do it. Yeah, that's the only advice I can really give personally. What are some necessities for uni? My sister starts later this year and I know she'll forget something she needs. I lived at home for uni, so I didn't move out, I didn't need to buy anything. I much preferred it because it was a lot cheaper, saved a lot of money. But I would say necessities if you're living at home are obviously a good laptop. I mean, not just living at home, but I'd say a good laptop. My trusty kind of MacBook has been great. Well, I say trusty, it kind of broke on me twice, but it was very old. Or a tablet. You don't need to have a laptop, you can have literally like an iPad or a tablet and just connect the keyboard and do it that way. Pen and paper, traditional pen and paper. I didn't use my laptop at uni in lectures. I always wrote everything down in a notebook, and I will continue to do that for the rest of my life, because there's nothing better than a traditional pen and paper. That's all I can really say. Always have a snack in your bag, because you will be in a boring lecture and you will want to have a snack to pass the time. That's probably why I put on so much weight, because I snacked a lot. Yeah, always have a snack in your bag. What was your favourite part of your degree? I don't think I can pick a favourite course, because I've kind of like bits from every single course, minus like finance. I think the favourite part of my degree is just how realistic it is, and it's basically what I'm going to be doing in the working world. So I've loved the fact that it is very realistic, very hands-on. Everything that I've learned at uni I will use at work. I've noticed that when I've done work experience in the past, I've kind of used stuff that I've learned at uni and I'm like, oh my god, this is actually useful, like what I've learned is worthwhile. Yeah, I think that's been the favourite part about my degree, is just the fact that I can use it, and I can use it anywhere. My degree covers so much. it's probably the best degree. I would 100% recommend it. It's very universal, it's very broad. It's got finance, it's got marketing, it's got branding, it's got advertising, it's got strategic thinking, social marketing, it's got campaigning, it's got digital marketing, literally go on forever, media planning and buying. It's got everything you kind of need in any job, really. You can use it in any job. But what I miss the most about uni, I've said this on Twitter a lot, and I've said that I won't miss uni, but I know I will miss it a tiny bit. I will miss having those more relaxed days. I don't know, I like routines, so I am looking forward to having a routine at work. I'll be working like 9 till 5:30, and I love the fact that I have a structured day. But I will miss obviously having working days at home and having a little bit of a less manic timetable. Even though I did something 24/7 and I'd work all weekend, I'm going to miss having the ability to sit in bed and do my work. That's what I'm going to miss the most. Also, the views of Greenwich. I mean, I could go there every weekend if I wanted. It's literally down the road. But like, seeing that of an evening when the sun's setting, even when the sun's rising, I did get there quite early sometimes. I'm going to miss seeing that view. If you had the power to input better mental health care into uni, how would you go about it, and what strategies would you put in place? I feel like I can't speak for everyone on this, and I can't speak for everyone's mental illness, but for me personally, having more accessible counsellors would be a great one. So I think just having someone there to kind of talk to would be really good. Having some kind of place to go at uni when you just want to kind of get away from everything, especially my one, because my uni is a tourist attraction. It's open to the public, so it wasn't like a campus where, you know, you had like shops and stuff just for your uni. It was open to the public, so there was nowhere for you to really go. The uni cafe was open to the public. All of like the open bits in the uni where it's got like sofas and stuff, they're always busy. So just having somewhere very quiet and secluded for people who just struggle to kind of be in a big crowded room, or just want to take themselves away for a bit and not have to sit in like a coffee shop or something, just to have a quiet room with like a kitten or a puppy in it. That would be great. Also, this is irrelevant to uni, but she said, what is your favourite ice cream flavour, favourite movie and favourite pizza topping? So I'm going to answer this. My favourite ice cream flavour is chocolate. Anything chocolate, like chocolate fudge, chocolate brownie, anything chocolate. Favourite movie, I was asked this the other day by my boyfriend and I can't say. I would say something like 500 Days of Summer or like a Cinderella Story, something like that. And favourite pizza topping, mine would have to be anchovies. 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 How do you say that? Anchovies. Anchovies. Those. I'd have them. They just make it taste so much nicer. I don't know. That's a very, very unpopular opinion, but I think they taste great. I think I have answered all of them. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it answers some of your questions. I will be doing a lot more videos over the next kind of week or two. I'm going to be doing one about my overall uni experience, I think, or I don't know, coping with stress at uni. I don't know, I'm gonna brainstorm a few ideas. Yeah, I've got a lot of videos coming up. And yeah, if you want to know any more, if you want to leave me any more questions, please leave them in the comments below and I will answer them. I will also leave links to any kind of mental health. Oh my god, that scared the hell out of me. I will also leave any links to any kind of uni related videos below, blog posts below. And yeah, I think that's everything. Thank you for watching and I will see you very soon.